All right, Bobcats, we're here, opening drive. Guy Walker, myself, with head coach Josh Strickland. This segment sponsored by Roof Masters and your local Hustle Sonic. Coach Strickland, last game of the year, a big win. Got a lot of questions. Overall, man, before we get into the individual questions, sum the season up for us, man.
I think overall, looking back at it, it really wasn't one of those deals. Everybody asked me if it was going to be, a roller coaster ride. Honestly, it wasn't. It was kind of the tale of two halves. I thought we played some of our games early. I thought there were some things that we did really well. We just couldn't get the win column. We were 0-5 in our first half of the season and 3-2 the last half. So it was a team that just kept believing. They kept fighting, and once we got that win, they were tougher to beat than they had been. Even though we had some close games. I'm proud of those guys. I told that senior class, that's like, coming in, I had to look at it from where we were to where we want to be, and there's a huge gap from where we want this program to be, and by no means did we reach what our standards are going to be for this program, but that gap closed tremendously. And for those guys to come in, me being the third coach in 3 years, and they were still in there, still buying in, that was awesome for those guys to do that.
Well, we start off rough and finish the season great. Would you give us a B for the season, or a C for the season, or an A? And there's so many great things that we've changed.
I'm not giving us an A.
Oh, well,
yeah. What I want out of our teams is to get the most out of our teams. And towards the end of the season, now we didn't get the most, what I felt, play our best every single game. But I felt like there were times where we got the most out of our guys. And so for that, I'm really, really proud of those guys. Overall grade, I'm hard on ourselves, so I'm going to say C+ to a B.
I'll take that. I know, and this is a personal note with me and Marc.
Yeah.
Start of the season, our special teams was horrid.
Yeah.
And I wanted to run the special teams coach. I said that on air. By the end of the season, who I give the special teams the player of the game.
Yeah.
Because they went from that far, and I was so proud of those guys.
Yeah.
Special teams coach, I don't know who that is. He did a great job of turning it all around. And Joel Altaveras, that's my man.
Yeah. And like we said, it's the special teams is that one thing at the beginning of the season. It is hard to simulate the speed in practice on special teams. And it's hard for me coming in and somewhat of a new staff, who's going to run down there and bite a biscuit on the kickoff team.
Right, that's a tough job.
Because you find out who's going to do what when you get that team out there. So, and I think probably out of all the special teams, the biggest improvement was that one area kickoff.
Kickoff return.
Yeah, kickoff return. We started the first of the season. They started on our 45. That was the average starting position.
Yeah.
The last ball game, Pine Stinking Tree started on the 20 to 25 most of the time. It was such an amazing, refreshing turnaround. And not just that, our running game improved all year long. Our passing game, it was just, in my eyes, and I'm looking from rose-colored glasses.
Right.
We just got better and better on every aspect. We had one bad game, the Jacksonville game. I wish we could have had back.
Yeah.
I'll comment on these two things because I thought to myself on the way here, Coach, to this interview, how did this sum the season up for me in my head? Two things stuck out for me a bunch.
Yeah.
Number one is somehow we went from a program that didn't expect to win to expected to win every Friday and got mad when we didn't.
Right.
And that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
And number two, man, this football season flew by. And I can't explain. I don't know. I've never had a high school season fly by as fast as this one. Can you kind of? I know those are crazy things to comment on. Can you comment on them?
It's funny because I've commented on those things already. As far as how fast the football season went, when I got here July 5th, 6th, or whatever, and we went out there for that first day of skills on the field, there's no way I thought this season was going to go by fast. When I went to that first day of skills, like, man, this season's going to take forever. And I didn't say it to anybody but myself. Right. And that was just kind of in jest because not everybody was always there at the same time and just trying to do as much stuff as you could in the summer. What was your first thing you said about?
Well, it was the expectation of
Oh,
winning.
yeah. Well, for me, coming in, I tried to not let the past affect what we did here. It was going to come in, start what we think, what we believed in, what I believed in, what I've been a part of that works, and set expectations. And our expectation is to win games. I did not go into one game this year thinking that we could not win. I did not won. Have I been in those situations in my career in 17 years? Yes, I've never said it. But this year, I thought we had a chance to win every single game that we played. There were games that we didn't play very well in, and we put ourselves in a bind. But there's not one time we're not going to expect to win the football game ever, and that will never be the case. We're going to have a plan to win the game every single game we walk out there.
So I do want to talk about one thing. The last game, we beat Pine Stinking Tree. Tell me how awesome that was.
Now,
and we got the trophy at the house.
Yeah. Now, I said the season wasn't a roller coaster. That game was a roller coaster. The way it kind of started off, had some mishaps, got the ball back, was able to score, had a 14-7 lead at halftime, come out, score on the second play in the second half, get up 21-7. They come back, make it 21-21, and then we score the last two. It was like one of those deals where we had to stay in there. And that rivalry did come into effect a little bit because everybody knows that was there. There were several flags.
19 penalties on the night, I think. Is that what I read?
On them, I thought.
There was a record set for false start.
I never saw. And
Our defensive line did a good job. Had a good game plan. They were moving at the snap, and that was good for us.
So let's talk about the trophy. It's back home.
It's back. And it's got 25 spots on it. And here's the crazy thing. The very first spot on that plaque is 1997. And I played in that game. So did Marc. And then the last one is the last deal on that plaque is my first game we played. It was the head coach of my hometown. So my first year I was on varsity, but football was the first one. And the last one is the first time I was the head coach.
Cool, right?
And so 18-7 overall, but they had won the last 5, so I'm glad we ended that one.
I know everybody in Halls was glad that thing came back home.
Oh, yeah.
And, Coach, was it bittersweet, though, even as it ends, the football season ending?
It is bittersweet, man. I was having the time of my life, and I told those guys, I know we finished 3-7, but I don't think I've ever had as much fun. It was a fun football season, and it went by so fast as any football season I can remember.
What are your expectations for this program going forward, Coach?
Show up, be on time, good attitude, and work hard all year. I'm gonna put these guys in some uncomfortable situations in the off season, and see how they handle it. And we got to handle being uncomfortable, and believe me, they're gonna be uncomfortable.
You never learn how to pick yourself up if you don't fall.
Exactly.
And, well, Coach, we've enjoyed you throughout this whole year.
Yes, we have.
It's been fun watching your teams play. It's been fun watching your staff coach. Glad to have you here, man. Really am.
I'm glad to be here.
And fans at home, thank you all for joining us on this ride. This has been the opening drive. Thank you to our sponsors, Roof Masters, and our local Hallsville Sonic. We'll see y'all next time, guys.
Thank you, guys.